I have just attended the David Wilcock Convergence Conference in London, and on the third day of the conference we had a dream sharing circle. I shared 2 dreams I had with David Wilcock and the conference that I would like to share here, so you may see how our Dreamtime is a platform bringing clear messages to us. Both precognitive dreams are connected and both contain synchronicity with the Convergence Conference itself. The first dream occurred about 4 to 6 months ago, and the second dream about 2 months ago. Both dreams occurred before I knew anything about David Wilcock bringing his conference to London. The first dream was an out-of-the-body experience. I remember coming out of the body, into the astral body, flying out of the window, and visualising a landscape where there are trees, forests, lots of grass, lots of greenery, which is a particular aspect to Dreamtime that I tend to go to a lot when I'm in an out-of-the-body experience. So I landed on a little brick wall looking down upon the grass and the trees, and my guides came to me. Now, a lot of the time in an out-of-the-body experience I will just glide or fly myself, but on some occasions my guides will come to me and actually transport me to different places in different ways. And on this occasion they brought with them a hot air balloon, and they strapped me into the seat of the hot air balloon and asked me where I wanted to go. And I said I would like to go and see David Wilcock. And they said, oh, everybody wants to see him. But nevertheless, they took me to see David Wilcock, and I was taken across the sea to a large wooden structure, a large wooden building that was elevated above sea level. So there was this large crowd of people there all waiting for David Wilcock, and he arrived in a large white aeroplane which flew past this big glass window at an angle, kind of going downwards as if it was going to land, but it was sharply pointed downwards. I got the feeling the aeroplane was moving very quickly. It was white, and it was very significant. I got the feeling that I must remember the significance of the aeroplane and the fact that it was white. And then David Wilcock arrived into the conference room, and there were crowds of people around him, and I realised I couldn't really get anywhere close to see him or talk to him, as there were so many people wanting to see him. So I just asked my guides if they could take me elsewhere, and that was the end of that particular part of that dream. Now, the second dream occurred about a couple of months ago. In this dream, again, I was in a hotel. I was in a hotel garden, actually, with tables everywhere, and there were people all in a crowd, all waiting to see David Wilcock. And I said to a friend of mine, oh, David Wilcock's over there, I'd really like to go and say hello to him and shake his hand and introduce myself, but obviously there are lots of people waiting to see him, so I won't go forward and say hello. I'll just let everyone else see him, you know. And my friend said, no, go on, go up and talk to him. But I said, no, everybody else, you know, can see him. I'm fine, it's okay. But then David Wilcock, after a while, left the crowd and came over to me, and he said to me, let's have a cup of tea. And I said, okay, and we sat down. The teacups were white, and I felt that having a cup of tea was significant in some way, and the fact that the cups were white was significant in some way. So we sat and drank a cup of tea, and David Wilcock said to me, I'm coming to London. And I said, are you? When? And he said, I'm coming to London to do my next conference. And I said, when? And he said, soon. And he got up and walked away. When I woke up, I thought to myself, I wonder if this is true. I wonder if he really is coming to London at all. So I went onto the divinecosmos.com website, which is David Wilcock's website, and I scrolled down the page, and then sure enough I found a little advert there saying that he was indeed coming to London to do his next Convergence Conference. I was very pleased that I had been given this information in a dream, and I booked a ticket, and I've been along this weekend. The Synchronicity came about during the weekend itself. The conference was held at a hotel near Heathrow Airport, and as we were driving up towards the hotel, with the airport very close, a large white aeroplane came right past the window of the car at a very low angle, because it was coming in to land at the runway close to the terminal we were driving past. And I said to my brother, who was driving the car, "That's the aeroplane in my dream, that's the big white aeroplane." And I'd had that dream 4 months previous. And the second synchronicity was on the second morning of the conference. David was making a joke about how British people like to drink tea. So he said perhaps we should all have a tea party. And I then said to my brother, "That's my cup of tea. You remember in the dream we had a cup of tea?" So both symbols, the aeroplane and the tea, were actually occurred at the conference. This to me would suggest that I was on a blueprinted moment by attending the conference. What I mean by that is the blueprint that you create prior to your birth. When you get close to a significant blueprinted moment which you have decided to experience prior to your birth, when you get close to those blueprinted moments, synchronicity becomes much more intense. People will see numbers, specifically 1111 or 333, 444, to signify to them that they're on that blueprinted moment, and what they need to take notice of at that time is significant. So on one level, I was experiencing a blueprinted moment by being there at the conference, and I have to say that everyone at the conference, including David himself, actually felt this to be the case. And then I was I was actually experiencing a moment where I needed to take note of things. Well, obviously the information that David Wilcock was giving to us during the conference was definitely something I would need to take note of, as his work is all significant to the shift, the ascension that's occurring on this planet at the moment, and all the science that he teaches backs up the channeling that I myself receive. So it was extremely significant for me to be there, and the aeroplane, the airport, and the cup of tea were the synchronistic symbols that I'd previously dreamt about. So there was a synchronicity in the dream, two synchronicities. The dreams were precognitive, they occurred prior to the event. And the colour white, well, that morning prior to our dream sharing experience, where we all got up and shared our dreams, David Wilcock had been talking about colours and transport in dreams and what they signify, and the colour white was quite significant to the dream. And you can read about David Wilcock's analysis of dream colour on his website, divinecosmos.com. I can also confirm that the colour white is the spiritual colour, the crown chakra, the Christ consciousness colour, the higher awakening, the higher dimensional colour of light. So anything in your dream that's white will signify that, which again would corroborate with the fact that I needed to be at the conference, and that David Wilcock himself is teaching and speaking as a representative of that higher dimensional light. So I just thought I would share those two dreams with you, so that you may yourself be able to see that dreams can bring synchronistic messages, that they can be clairvoyant, precognitive dreams, and that they can tie in with the experiences you have chosen to experience before you were born, and that they can be markers to show you events and experiences in your life you need to take note of. So this is Magenta Pixie, and thank you for listening.